G'day, how you doing? Now this here is a budget machine I purchased off eBay. My budget, I mean a $503 Australian dollar laptop. What did I buy? Well, apart from a lot of packaging, let's find out. A lot of packaging down there. I find the laptop over here. A lot of tape there. We have a MSI, but what may it be? Let's try and make some room. Throw that down there. Dig a bit further and find a modified power supply. Or so the customer had told me. I don't know how exactly it's been modified. The end has been modified. It is a 230 watt HP charger. I'm going to assume that that is all that is in the box. So I'll throw that away. And bring back the laptop for another day. So what did I get? I got a GS76 Stealth. Flip it over to here. We have a GS76 Stealth 11UG, manufactured late 2021. And this one has a few interesting specifications about it. One of which is the keyboard, which has a foreign region keyboard. I'm not sure if it's Russian. But if I look, there's some very odd keys in here. Luckily, that's probably mainly what's getting used. So the keys on here are different. We have a 17-inch display, which is apparently 360 Hz, which I didn't realize and went that high. And that is some wicked wear and tear from the keyboard bump. So there's the trackpad, I'm assuming, right there. That's pretty wild and wicked. I'll give it a clean. How much of that is dust? Not a lot of it. Luckily we mostly played in a dark room. But yeah, that's the screen, that's the keyboard. What else did this one have? Apparently the thermal paste had been redone with some, what do we have? Some K5 Pro. I'm not familiar with which brand that may be. And apparently been done to the VRMs as well. So I just want to take this apart and see what else there is. Apparently this one has 32 gig of RAM, a 2 terabyte NVMe, not sure which model, but also there's been an undervolt applied at the BIOS level, which I'm more than happy for that to be the case. Apparently it got some fairly nice temperature drops. So it has an aftermarket charger, it has a very weird keyboard, it has the scratches on the screen, or the imprints on the screen, a few cracks on the body of it. That's perfectly fine. For $500, I'll accept that. But also, looking at the specifications of it, it's got an RTX 3070 in here, which I'm yet to get an RTX 3070 in laptop form. I believe, according to the MSI website, this runs at, I think, either 75 or 90 watts. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Most of all, I want to check out and see what's in here. The design of this very much reminds me of the MSI Delta 15 that I had for a while, which is a positive. And what I'll be looking at doing is probably replacing the keyboard with a standard US QWERTY keyboard, which will probably be a pain in the ass on one of these, but something to attempt to get on the cheap. I'm more than happy to go down that path. I'll try and open it over here. And it's opening just fine. There we go. What else do we see here? Sadly, not much. So looking at it, a very flimsy bottom. That's perfectly acceptable. What do I see down here? We have a killer 1675X AX210NGW. I'm getting the X's all confused. So an Intel Wi-Fi 6 card, more than happy with that. Over here we have a 1TB, I'm sure 1TB Samsung drive. We spin it over to here. We also have a 1TB Samsung drive. Yes, 1TB. So that's where the 2TB are coming into play. So I'd say to get into here to do the actual replacement I want to do, this will all need to come off and out, as this is one of the flipped boards, so all the copper cooler is on the other side, and the RAM is also accessible on the other side. So I'm going to leave that for now. Put this back over. So right now, for the price that I paid for it, of 500 Australian dollars for a 17-inch gaming laptop, I'm pretty happy with that. I spotted it on eBay, it wasn't the greatest condition, but also for $500, for something that can play most things quite well. The other thing regarding it was processor, which I believe was the 11th gen. Where are we? So an i7 11th generation, so I'm not too sure exactly which model that may be. Hopefully we're still going to pair up. And if I mash, hopefully delete or defill. Let's see what will happen. If I can get into the BIOS rather than Windows. Right now we're starting up and going straight into Windows. Don't know what the password is, don't know what's on here. I'm assuming just a complete reinstall, which would be perfectly fine. So I just had a fresh install of Windows 10. If I hold down Shift, I should be able to get it into the UEFI. So it's apparently a 95 watt 3060, 99.9 watt hour battery. The customer does say, the seller does say that the battery life's no longer that good. Doesn't really surprise me. And tray. Not sure if this is like a French or Finnish keyboard. Either way, for the price I paid, I'm happy to attempt a keyboard swap on it. I'm noticing a lot of like little scuffs and stuff all around it, but also being when you play it, it doesn't really matter. Troubleshoot advanced, UEFI, let's see. I'm hoping in here it will tell me what processor exactly it is. As I've completely forgotten the the various models that Intel have. I go here, what do we have? We have i7 11800H. Rightio. 8 core, 16 thread, 16 gig, Wi-Fi 6E adapter, all looking very good. I'm curious if there may be a newer BIOS available for it. I'm curious where he done the, I'd say he must have went into the advanced mode and edited the, did the undervolt from there. And that will do for today, but it's a neat little machine. Well, by little I mean 17.3 inches, so it is a much larger machine than what I'm used to. So I'm tempted to try out a much larger laptop. So looking at it, we have Thunderbolt 4, a couple of USB-A's over here, should be gigabit Ethernet. Around the other side, Type C, card reader, HDMI out, and probably nothing along the back because that's where the cooling is blasting. Looking a bit rough here, losing the sticker, but whatever, that happens in life. Overall, pretty happy. 500 Australian dollar purchase for an i7 11800H, 32 gig of RAM, two 1TB drives, and I think it's a 6 gig 3070 95 watt model. Pretty happy with that.